any of the pop stars come back at you? Like, has Pharrell been like, why are you calling me a hermaphrodite on TV, man?
Because he can't deny he has a pretty face.
Right. Why would you be mad if somebody says, hey, you got a pretty face, fella?
Right.
Especially when you're trying to look pretty.
He's too busy trying to figure out how I knew he was a hermaphrodite.
But nobody's like, come back at you. Carly Rae Jepsen isn't like, why are you making fun of me, guys?
No, because she don't want none of this.
No. Yeah.
Or maybe she does.
I got to tell you guys, and I was telling O&A before, like, the way you guys handle the criticism is my favorite thing about you. Because I read the quote, because GQ, they put out, like, this asshole thing of, like, the 25 worst rappers. And, of course, because you guys are all over the internet now, and you guys are the thing to hate at the moment, they put you as number one.
That's right.
And I think Shaggy's quote was my favorite way anybody's ever responded to negative criticism. It was just simple. He said, tell GQ to say it to my face.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, guys who suck. No, they'll write about it so you ain't going to look at them.
Yeah, yeah. We were talking about the Miracles video earlier. And when you put that out, was the intention like, we're going to make this ridiculous?
No. The intention was to be just like it is, man. Heartfelt. Some of our music is heartfelt. Mm-hmm. Some of our music is just like that. Call it corny, if you will. We've been showing that side of us for years.
Right.
From the beginning. From our first album, we've been showing that side of us, We've had songs like that, that was just the first time we ever made a video for a song like that,
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we're speaking to the Juggalos. And when we're speaking to Juggalos, it's not always so hard. Sometimes we're speaking to the world, and that's when it's fast and ruthless and we got a lot to say. But sometimes we're speaking to our brothers and sisters in the Juggalo family, and that's what a song like Miracles is. You know what I mean?
Were you annoyed that it went viral?
No.
Because it didn't go...
Happy.
But it went viral. It's like it was on every website. Like, you got to see this. This is ridiculous. Like, did that annoy you? Or
I still don't understand what's so ridiculous about it. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
I never understood why people bugged off that shit so hard.
Check this out. Check this out. When you hate something, you know what I'm saying? You just hate it. Mm-hmm. You don't sit there and stew over it and stare at it and write a blog about it and all kind of shit. You just hate it.
Right, like you're just sitting there like, this isn't my shit, moving on,
you moving on. It. But when something affects you in such a strong way, you don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Miracles. That's why there was so much like open criticism with huge people standing up and blogging and sending us shit and going crazy over it. It's because it touched them and they were embarrassed the fact that it touched them.
You think so?
I think so. I think it hit
it hit on sensitivities
in some way, and they were so confused by that because they hate us.
Yeah,
This is affecting me. This is making my stomach feel butterfly.
Yeah, did I just think? Did they just make me think?
And they say, "Fuck you guys,"
right,
for doing this to me.
And what I think is so funny too. What's the line that caught the most flack from that song? Magnets, how do they work?
Fucking magnets.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone's so pissed off over that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, you tell me right now, how do magnets work?
That's what I was gonna say.
You know
because
what I'm saying? Do you really know how?
You can look up how a magnet works, but who the fuck is reading books about magnets? Right?
Well,
like,
it's opposite polarity of the North Pole. It's like, all right, but how does that work?
Yeah. That's still crazy.
Not to mention that line was written because at the time, you know what I mean? I'm looking through the eyes of my 4-year-old son.
Right.
Who doesn't know how magnets work and can't look it up online, And he's playing with these magnets and he's playing with them. He doesn't know what the hell's going on, you know what I mean? And he's amazed by it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm talking about. There's a miracle to him. You know what I mean? Just because you grow up and it's not a miracle to you no more. It was a miracle to him then at that time. You see what I'm saying?
Do you know when you write a lyric that's going to stick with people? Like for me, what is a juggalo? He's not a phony. He'll come in your house and bust a nut in your macaroni. It's never left my head. I heard that lyric when I was like probably 17 years old. And busting a nut in somebody's macaroni is just a picture.
Geniusness.
I can't get. I could never. It has never escaped my brain. Do you know when you're writing something like eat up Monopoly and shit out Connect 4 that like this is something that's going to stick with people?
I believe that everybody's different and something affects everybody.
I
Yeah.
mean, when you're writing stuff, you're hoping everything will stick with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like
It's just always different. You
Right.
know,
And
sometimes some things like that's the first time I've ever heard that line.
What one?
That line
quoted.
Should I connect?
quoted.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
like
God.
all my career, I've never heard anybody say, "I love that line."
Busting down your
pick that up.
macaroni?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's like I think there's something for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some more than others. Some we hear about a lot. You know, of course, miracles and shit.
Yeah.
And then slingshot your nuts up your butthole. You know, things like that.
What are the steps to suing the government? Because you said that's what you're going to do. Like you are taking.
It's not gonna
You're
do it. It's
doing
already
it.
in the process.
Because they're taking your fan base and they're turning them into criminals.
Hire a lawyer who has no balls. I mean, who has a set of balls.
Right, because I was going to say, the other one wouldn't be effective.
Some have no balls and are extremely effective because their balls are tucked up their anus. But that's another idea. That's another thing completely. Hire a lawyer whose balls are so big he sits on them and rides them in a wagon.
And that's it.
And then write him a check.
And
you know
go
what I'm
after
saying?
Uncle
A big-ass
Sam.
check as big as this table.
And just hope it goes good.
Right.
Look at each other and kiss every time we've ever made goodbye.
When you brought Tila Tequila to the gathering, like you had to know your fan base wasn't going to like her. Did you realize?
No, there was no setup. There was no ill intentions whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? We were doing a Juggalette night, Revenge of the Juggalettes is what
Okay.
that night was called. We had Foxy Brown lined up. We had her. We didn't know. You know,
So you're
maybe
just trying to bring in like chick rappers.
It
that-
could've been
Raggers,
ignorant.
She just put out a single called "I Want to Fuck the DJ."
Right. I mean,
Right.
it was just
all
pure
explicit,
ignorance on our
you know.
part, thinking that
Right.
we had something cool that we were doing, and we had no idea that shit was going to happen. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I ended up saving her life that night.
You
You know what
did?
I'm saying? Yeah, she was in a trailer. It was about to get lynched. You know what I'm saying? I had to go out there and help keep the crowd back till she could get in her car and go. You
They
know?
were going after her trailer?
Yeah, straight up.
What did she do to get him so mad?
She
Pull
was
the
just
titties out.
She was just, she wouldn't leave the stage. She could have just got booed off normally, left. Everything would have been cool.
That's
You
what
know
it
I
is,
ain't
huh?
no one of these bitches. I ain't one of these bitches.
Right, she just started running her fucking mouth like crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's when rocks started flying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And-
because you can't go in front of a crowd of people and be like, you think you're tough, I'm tougher. And they're like, what? There's thousands of us.
Right, especially
Who
when
are
it's
you
n-
talking
especially
to?
when it's not your crowd.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's like me like going out in front of I don't know, in front of the Goo Goo Dolls' crowd and be like, well fuck you, you know what I'm saying? I ain't leaving the stage. You know
fuck
what I'm
the
saying?
Goo Goo Dolls.
You're gonna like me no matter what, motherfuckers.
And
know what I'm
the
saying?
Goo Goo Dolls crowd is sure killers.
Well, I might get like, a round of low murmured boos, you know what I'm saying, in that
Right.
situation. But
Just
no
whispers
eye
to each other.
contact, right?
Don't you wish he'd get off stage? Yeah, I really wish he would. Well, you got to go do the next show, I guess. Troy and me are going to be at the Gathering this year, too.
Yeah, we'll
We're
see
going
that.
down with Jim. So is there any... We're going to be going around doing interviews and stuff for the radio. Everybody's calling up being like, oh, be careful. I'm saying,
Come
like...
on, man.
That's right.
Be careful. You guys are going to have fun, probably get your dick sucked. It's going to be great.
That's what's up.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for stopping by, ICP.
Yeah, really
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
it. Come back
Thanks a lot.
anytime, guys.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. Thanks, fellas.